Ons kyk in hierdie les verder na taalverskynsels en spesifiek na dubbelsinnigheid, sinekdogie, tautologie, slangtaal en jargon. Dit klink na vreeslike groot woorde, maar dit is nie so moeilik om te verstaan nie. Ons begin eerste met dubbelsinnigheid. Dubbelsinnigheid is basically when a statement has a double meaning. Met ander woorde, ons kan nie uit die stelling aflei of dit goed of sleg is nie. If somebody makes a statement, we cannot, from the statement itself, know whether it is good or bad. Ons weet nie of die spreker dit positief of negatief bedoel nie, behalwe as ons na die konteks van 'n teks kyk. So once again we see how important context becomes. Die voorbeeld wat ek hier vir julle gegee het, ek hoop jy kry wat jou toekom. I hope you get what you deserve. So in the context of the sentence alone, just hearing, I hope you get what you deserve, can be having a grudge against someone and be meant in a negative way. But it can also be a blessing to somebody. I hope that you get everything that you deserve, meant in a positive way. So once again, the context becomes very important. And we'll find this once again, it may be in a comprehension test or in our literature. So that's why it's very important to understand the context of this so that we can then apply and find out which way this dubbelsinnigheid is meant to lean, positively or negatively. Right. Sinekdogie is something that we mostly find in poetry. Right. It also goes together with metonymia, which is very much the same as sinekdogie. Dit beteken 'n klein deel van iets word gebruik om na 'n groter geheel te verwys. We use a small part of something to refer to a bigger part of what we actually mean. For example, sy het baie monde om te voed. She has many mouths to feed. But she's not literally feeding the mouths. She means that she has a lot of people to feed. So this we will then call sinekdogie. Another example is to say met 'n vloot van net 20 seile, with a fleet of only 20 sails. But we don't only mean the sails, we actually mean skepe. We mean the ships with the sails. So that is then another example of sinekdogie. So we take a part of the ship, which is the sail, and we use that to refer to the actual ship. We take a part of the person, the mouth, and we use that to refer to the people. Reg. Ons volgende taalverskynsel is tautologie. En tautologie noem ons ook stapelforme. And directly translated or roughly translated, this basically means stacking. So stapelforme is wanneer ons verskillende woorde vat en hulle letterlik op mekaar stapel. Reg. So kom ons gaan kyk hoe dit werk. Dis twee woorde wat as een woord gebruik word en dit beteken dieselfde. Byvoorbeeld 'n graftombe, which basically is a grave. 'n graf means grave, maar 'n tombe means a tomb, which is also a grave. So it's like saying grave tomb. So we're repeating the same concept, and that is what we call tautologie. 'n kabel tou, 'n kabel is a tow. A cable and a rope is basically the same thing. Brok en 'n stuk. 'n brok is a part of something, and a stuk is a piece of something. So when we put these two words together that almost mean the same thing, that is when we call it tautologie. Right. Then we get our slang taal. Slengtaal. Reg. So dit is informele taal, but what you need to remember, there's a difference between informal language when we are speaking to each other and informal grammar when we are writing. So writing an informal letter or writing a diary entry does not justify the use of slang words. So be very careful not to use these words when you are doing your writing. Reg. Dit is informele taal gewoonlik deur tieners gebruik, also used by gang members or in certain communities. Reg. Dit is nie aanvaarbaar in formele gesprekke nie en ook nie in skryfwerk nie. En dit is woorde soos cool, kief, kwai, grand en bra of brew. So this is the way that we speak to each other in our everyday language, but remember this is not acceptable in formal language and also not in our writing. Goed, dit is dan slangtaal. Jargon is terme en uitdrukkings wat in spesifieke beroepe of ambagte gebruik word. So these are terms and expressions that is used in specific careers or career fields and specific types of jobs or sports. Byvoorbeeld in sokker gebruik ons woorde soos dribble en doelhok. This is the goalpost and that is to dribble a ball. In rugby kry ons terme soos hoogvat en sondehoekie. This is a high tackle and this is a sin bin. And the reason I'm saying this is because these are not terms that we're going to be using anywhere else. We'll only refer to a hoogvat or a sondehoekie when we are referring to rugby specifically. And that's why we call it rugby jargon. Reg. In rekenaars byvoorbeeld gaan ons sê jy klik regs op die muis. So het ons ook in ander beroepe spesifieke terme wat ons kan gebruik. As jy byvoorbeeld in bemarking is, dan gaan jy praat van aanbiedings en van bemarkingsvoorstellings en die tipe van dinge. So dit is baie belangrik om te onthou, and especially when you are doing your writing, and this will be when you are doing things like a cover letter for your CV, for example. You'll need to use specific jargon if you are applying for a specific kind of job. Right, I will see you in the next lesson.